I think Sam's a better player than one shot. I think we're about to see over time that he's a very good player, full of talent. Now hopefully can turn that talent into performance. In regards to batting, I think the other one that's a talking point at the moment is Usman Khawaja. And I think Uzi thinks he's had a wonderful career, he's happy with what he's achieved. He obviously wants to keep playing, but if his time comes up and the selectors decide to go a different way, then I think he's already prepared for that and he's okay with that. But I'm more focused on this Australian team dominating these 3 test matches, giving certain guys the opportunity to stand up and cement their place in the 11, leading into what's going to be a huge Australian summer with the Ashes. Hello guys, Michael Clarke here. Welcome back to Beyond 23. We've got Australia versus the West Indies in a test match over in the Caribbean, being played in Barbados. What a beautiful destination. Not only for a game of cricket, but a holiday. One of my favourite places to tour when I was back playing for Australia. So I'm sure the boys are having a ball over there. I've seen they've been doing their preparation. Lots of talk around this Australian team. Obviously a couple of, I'll say one injury in Steve Smith. He's out injured, so not available for this test match after breaking that finger or dislocating that finger in the World Test Championship. Hopefully he'll be back for that second test match. And Marnus Labuschagne not selected, so being dropped. So I guess that's really the main talking point. You know, the opportunity that's presented to young Sam Konstas at the top of the order. A specialist opening batsman. I said it at the time, I'm super surprised that he didn't get the chance to play in Sri Lanka. I think that was an opportunity missed. I know different conditions to Australia, but my whole take on, playing international cricket is if you're good enough, you've got to play, you've got to find a way to play all around the world. In an ideal world, we all would have loved to have just batted in Australian conditions because we grew up with them and we know them so well, but that's domestic cricket, that's first class cricket, that's where you get to do that. International cricket, you've got to play all around the world in all different conditions and find a way. So I know he would have been disappointed not getting that chance and then obviously not selected in the World Test Championship. They opened the batting with Marnus Labuschagne. And even on that one, I think I said before that game, I sort of feel they were setting Marnus up. I think things have fallen in the selectors' favour. I think this is exactly what they wanted. I think that the fact they didn't pick Sam in Sri Lanka, they wanted to bring him in at the right time or what they perceive as the right time. And ideally, and again, no disrespect to the West Indies, but playing the West Indies is a lot different to playing South Africa in the World Test Championship or England in Australia or India in India. But that's why I was confused. Why I think because Australia didn't have success in Sri Lanka the last time, they made it feel like they were playing India in India. Again, no disrespect to Sri Lanka, but they're not India. So there's a big difference there. So I think they missed a trick there. They held him off for the World Test Championship, gave Marnus that last opportunity, moving him to opening the batting. We've seen, they tried that with Steve Smith. It didn't work. So I think it was a token, you've been a good player, Marnus. We still want you around. At the right time, he'll definitely get another crack, in my opinion. But they wanted him, or they set him up to fail. In preparation for bringing Sam in now against the West Indies. Give him 3 test matches. Hopefully he makes his first 100, finds some form, and then he's ready for the Ashes in November back in Australia. So I wish him all the best. He showed the test match against, when he made his debut in Australia against India, he showed he's very skillful. Potential is a no-brainer. I think there's been a lot of talk about that ramp shot that he played off Bumrah. We've seen him played in first-class cricket as well. It's worked on occasions. It's got him out on occasions. I think Sam's a better player than one shot. I think we're about to see over time that he's a very good player, full of talent. Now hopefully can turn that talent into performance. And yes, he can play, all the shots like a lot of players these days. Particularly because of T20 cricket. So you might still see that shot, but I think he'll pick his time. I think he'll back his defence, normal cricket shots that seen him be successful for New South Wales and get the opportunity to play for Australia. So I hope he grabs his chance with both hands. So he comes in for Marnus. And the other replacement is Josh Inglis comes in for Steve Smith, like I say, with that busted finger. Josh made a brilliant 100 on debut in Sri Lanka. There's been a lot of talk about him for a period of time now as a batsman, wicketkeeper. I think he's been biding his time. He's been around the group. He's been playing short forms of cricket. I watched him over in the IPL this season. Again, different technique, but I think the one thing he knows as good as anyone is how to score runs. He plays his own way. He's quite low in his stance. Technically, he looks pretty good. He's got all the shots. There's no doubt about it. And I really like his intent. So I'm assuming Sam comes in to open with Usman. They'll keep Cameron Green at number 3, considering they batted him there in the World Test Championship. A lot of talk around that as well. Ideally for me, I'd like to see Cameron Green back bowling. I think he's a genuine all-rounder. And I mean bat, bowl, field. He's a very good fielder, very good catcher as well. So I probably see Cameron and Bo Webster fighting for that all-rounder spot. But it seems at the moment they think Cam's batting is good enough. So he's going to play whether he's batting and bowling or just batting. So if that's the case, I think they've probably got to stick with him at number 3 because they've given him that opportunity. Inglis comes in at number 4 to replace Steve Smith, and I've got no doubt he'll do well, particularly in those conditions. West Indies generally is quite slow and low, get a lot of natural variation, so I haven't seen what the pitch is like. Barbados is probably the quickest wicket in the Caribbean, but it's still not a fast pitch compared to somewhere like Australia, and Josh has played in a number of conditions in Australia that'll have a lot more pace and bounce. So he'll just have to adapt to that. He's been playing in the IPL, so those wickets are pretty slow over there as well. So I think he'll do absolutely fine. Travis Head stays at 5. Bo Webster at 6, Alex Carey at 7. In regards to batting, I think the other one that's a talking point at the moment is Usman Khawaja. Uzi's done wonderfully at the top of the order for his whole career, to be honest. He missed out in the World Test Championship, and I guess for him personally, there's been a lot of talk around, it seems like he's pretty, he's very equipped to all conditions. I think he's shown that. But I think in regards to his attitude around how long he plays for, he's very chilled about it. I think Uzi thinks he's had a wonderful career. He's happy with what he's achieved. He obviously wants to keep playing, but if his time comes up and the selectors decide to go a different way, then I think he's already prepared for that and he's okay with that. Sounds like after he got dropped early on in his career that he probably accepted that I might not play for Australia again, and if I do, then it's a bonus. And he's certainly done well. He will need some runs in these three test matches, but it also sounds like the selectors are going to stick with him no matter what leading into the Ashes. It sounds like they've got a bit of a plan and had a bit of a plan for a while, where they go with someone like a Sam Konstas at the top of the order who's quite young, and then they keep that experienced Usman Khawaja right beside him, opening the batting. So, yeah, let's see what happens there. I think Uzi will find a way to make runs. I think these conditions, nowhere near as much sideways movement. A lot of the time in the Caribbean, it's best to bat when the ball's hard. It comes on, you can use the pace a little bit more. As the ball gets older, it slows down, so it's harder to score. So I think Uzi might enjoy that. I've got no doubt you'll see him back in form. And hopefully, from Australia's point of view, that consistency is there. So he goes into that first test in November against England with an opening partnership that has spent some time together. Again, using different balls, not using kookaburras, they're using the Duke balls. So I know they've been using those in Australia as well in preparation for this. So the two significant changes and it's happened before in the Caribbean, they haven't always used kookaburra balls there. But they're using the Duke ball. And the third test in Jamaica, I think, is under lights. So I'm pretty sure that'll be the first test match Australia plays under lights outside of Australia. But yeah, like I said, I think this tour is all about Australia trying to work out what their best 11 is. Yes, you've got to still beat the West Indies. We've seen that. They've beaten us. They beat us at the Gabba. West Indies have got a very young, inexperienced team. New captain, a lot of new faces. I can't wait to see Shamar Joseph bowl. He was over in the IPL. He didn't get much opportunity, but I was watching him work his backside off in the nets. He's fit, he's strong, and he bowls quick. So I can't wait to see how he goes against these Aussie batters, because he will want to be successful. He loves playing for the West Indies, and I know he loves playing against Australia. So I'm interested to see how they play as a team, but I'm more focused on this Australian team dominating these three test matches, giving certain guys the opportunity to stand up and cement their place in the 11 leading into what's going to be a huge Australian summer with the Ashes. I think this is a great chance for Sam Konstas. There's been a lot of talk about him. He's doing a lot of stuff with Cricket Australia off the field. And I know what comes with that. You know, it's expectation, it's spotlight, it's media attention. So the most important thing for him is to make sure he's making runs. If he can manage both, then I wish him all the best. It's going to be great to watch. But yeah, with the build-up that's been created around him, here's his chance to really cement his spot at the top of the order leading into what's going to be an amazing Ashes series. I think the other thing that I saw through the World Test Championship, look, I think Paddy Cummins done a great job as captain. I think our success as a team has been phenomenal. To even make the World Test Championship again after winning it last time, I think shows how good a cricket we've been playing. He's got a lot of experience around him, but I think he missed Steve Smith when he went off the field. Tactically, I think that's going to be one of Paddy's challenges throughout this series against the West Indies. If the wickets are flat and there's not much there, how does he change his fields? How does he utilise his fast bowlers? Where and when does he use Nathan Lyon? Interested to see fields to Nathan Lyon. I thought he went a little bit defensive in England in the World Test Championship. Had Nathan Lyon bowling around the wicket, no bat pad for a lot of the time, instead of maybe attacking a bit more, get Lino over the wicket, look to spin back through the gate to the right-handers, get a bat pad in there, less guys on the boundary. That's the other thing as well. I think we're very quick to save runs or try and save runs, protect boundaries. I really hope this series we see Paddy be a lot more aggressive and look to bowl the West Indies out. Don't be too scared about going for too many runs. So I can't wait to watch that. I guess the question that's being thrown around at the moment in regards to Australian 11, and it will be based on conditions, is do they go to a second spinner? I know Matt Kuderman's over there who's done a great job, left arm orthodox, complements Nathan Lyon very well. Do they play a second spinner? You've also got Travis Head in that lineup that I think he's right arm off spinners. Yes, part-time, but probably a little bit better than that. I think Paddy can utilise him as well. So if they're to go two spinners, that gives them three options, really. Lyon, Kuderman and Travis Head to bowl spin, because obviously no Mana, so he can't bowl those leg spinners. And then what two quicks do they pick? Because then you've got two quicks and Webster who can bowl as well. So it's still a stack of bowling, but who misses? Does Hazelwood miss or does Stark miss? It's going to be an interesting one to see what they do. But yeah, lots of talk around the second spinning option. Like I said, I think that's going to be dictated by conditions. I think if they think it's going to spin, again, my mindset would be, how are we taking 20 wickets? I think that would be my first question leading into this series. Everything else can work around that. It's how are we bowling West Indies out? What's our best attack to bowl them out? And then I fill in the gaps with, is that three quicks, no all-rounder? Is that two quicks, Webster as the all-rounder, two spinners? Is it three quicks and Nathan Lyon and use Travis Head? They've got plenty of options in the squad. So yeah, like I say, I think it's going to be more conditions based rather than, you don't give guys opportunities as such in a test match. You're there to win. I don't think they should underestimate the West Indies. They still have to play their best cricket. West Indies have beaten us before. We saw that at the Gabba. So they'll want to be switched on, and the players will want to make runs, because that's the other thing. There's so much to play for here in these three test matches. Yes, to win, first and foremost, but you want to be part of the Ashes in November. You want to be walking out onto that ground at Optus Stadium in Perth for that first test match against England. Massive build-up. England obviously playing India at the moment. So that series will be defining as well. But I just think from a cricket's perspective, the Ashes is a series you want to be a part of, and particularly for all Australians in your own backyard, in front of your home fans. So making runs and taking wickets is so important in this series. And also, it's important for Australia to dominate the West Indies, to play that aggressive, positive brand of cricket, to try and win this series 3-0. I think that's got to be their focus. And again, don't underestimate the West Indies. Don't disrespect them. But I think they've got to have that attitude. They've got to think we're here to show the West Indies and anybody else watching that we're a better team than you. We want to go into the Ashes series full of confidence. With no doubt, we want to know what our best 11 is. We want guys in form, and we want to be playing that aggressive, positive brand of cricket to really set a tone and show. If England will be watching, there's no doubt about it. Like, I'm sitting here watching the England-Indian Test series, looking at their attack, how they're going to bowl in Australia, how much do they miss Jofra Archer, Mark Wood, their batting, how they're going to go in Australian conditions, bit of extra pace and bounce. So the players will be no different. So I think dominating this series is very important and sending a real message to whoever it is, but in this case, England, when you get to Australia, we will be ready for you. So a lot to play for individually and as a team. And like I say, I just think I'm looking forward to seeing how Sam Konstas goes. I think Josh Inglis has deserved another opportunity, although it's come through Steve Smith's injury. And then Paddy Cummins, obviously his captaincy without Steve Smith being on the field is going to be an interesting one, tactically, to see how he goes. Because again, Smitty's getting older. He's closer to finishing than starting, there's no doubt about it. So, Paddy's going to have to play a lot of cricket moving forward if he continues to be captain of Australia without Steve Smith being on the field. So I think this is a real good opportunity for him. Can't wait to see it. May the best team win, but I am backing the Aussies to dominate and win this Test match. Leading run scorer, I'm going to go Cameron Green. Missed out in the World Test Championship. I'm assuming he's going to bat at number 3, and I think he's going to want a big score to show everyone or remove the question marks around, not is he a good enough batter? I think that's a given. He's a good enough batter to bat in the top 6. It's just, is number 3 his position? Is number 6 his position? I think that's what the chatter is at the moment. So he'll want to make a real statement. So I'm going to go Cameron Green to be our leading run scorer. Leading wicket taker, I'm going to go Nathan Lyon in these conditions. I just think that little bit of extra bounce in Barbados. Again, Lino didn't have too much to do in the World Test Championship. I thought he was a little bit rusty, but he's a genius and has been for a long time. So I'm going to say Nathan Lyon back into form as well. He'll be our leading wicket taker in this Test match and the Aussies to win. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for all your support. We'll keep you updated not only on this series, Australia v West Indies, but also India versus England. I'll be keeping an eye on that, and I'll let you know my thoughts after that first Test match.